Okay, let's begin today's lecture. All right. So in our previous lecture, we had seen that if we are having a periodicity, let's talk about a periodicity of the lattice now. Okay. I need to present screen. Right. So when we are talking about the periodicity of the lattice, then in our previous lecture, what did we notice? That if we have the atoms which are essentially spread out in space in particular period. So that period, we will call it as the A or the lattice constant. Okay. So now the interesting part, as we have already discussed in our previous lecture, that mostly kind of like almost 80% of the physical properties are determined by the arrangement of the atoms rather than the atoms themselves, atoms or the bases themselves. Okay. So that means if we have a base here, these can be the ions or the atoms, we can say. The properties of the crystal is essentially dependent on A and the orientation of the placement. So that's what brings us to the symmetry of the atoms, okay, which we'll see in our next lecture. So now we have also noticed that these are the periodicity of the potential variations, right? So as a consequence, when the electron is moving inside the lattice, it is essentially going to find this periodic variation of the potential. That's what we have already seen. Now, what we are interested in, suppose now we look into a position x here, x naught, let us say. This is the direction x, right? Now, after n times of A, suppose we want to look into this particular location, which is basically n times of A. Here it is only 2, so let's not bother about that. So n can be any number, it can be millions, plus x0. Then, if we want to ensure that the particle can essentially flow inside the crystal, throughout the crystal, there will be millions of atoms unabated or unaffected by this potential variation. Then what will happen? So that means the state of motion of the particle here, x0 from a particular atom, will be the same as the state of motion of the particle x0 from another atom, which is separated by an integer multiple of the lattice constant. Please understand this concept well. So if that is so, what do we understand? That psi x0 plus Na should be equal to psi x0, because psi is the wave function which will kind of mathematically describe the state of motion of the particle. Yeah. So now what we observe here is given the block function, this should be true, e to the power of I k x0. Instead of plus Na, I will put e to the power of I k n a is equal to u x0 e to the power of I k x. Correct. So essentially meaning that in the block function, what was the condition? That this is equal to this part, okay, is equal to u x0. Okay. So that means you are having a u x0 into this. So essentially, I'm not writing once again. This is already known to everybody. So I'll just cancel these points out. So essentially meaning that e to the power of I k n a is equal to e to the power of I 2 pi t. P is any integral. So what does it imply? That k is equal to 2 pi by n. Okay. So na. So what does it mean here? So if you look at 2 pi p by n, so k is p by n, which will be one number divided into 2 pi by a. So that means the smallest number. So essentially meaning that if you are the properties of the particle will simply keep repeating after an integral multiple of 2 pi by a, correct? So now when we are putting that pi by a is equal to 1, okay? So if pi by a is equal to 1, then this is going to be the value of the minimum value of k, the periodicity in k, minimum periodicity in the k value is 2 pi by a, right? So that means if we, instead of representing x with respect to x, if we represent with respect to something like this, let us say. So here I will represent k is equal to, I will represent by k, okay, where the periodicity was essentially a, right, lattice constant. Instead of that a, I shall call it 2 pi by a here. This is 2 pi by a. Then the next integral will be 2 pi by a into 2. Then this will be 2 pi by a into 3. And likewise, will go on and on. Okay. Then what is the significance of this? Whatever was x, you are simply making a reciprocal of it, a, and 2 pi is a number. Okay. So here, what was the situation? This was 0, this will be a, this will be twice a, this will be thrice a, like that, isn't it? So we are also doing the same thing, just we have reversed the notation of the axis. Okay. So we will make it 2 pi by a, 2 into 2 pi by a. So the lattice constant, so to speak, is now 2 pi by a. In which axis? We will call this as a reciprocal lattice. Okay. Whereas in this case, I'm going to put it as direct lattice over here. Okay. So the point over here, what we are speaking of is this. Okay. So the direct lattice is essentially referring to the crystal in x dimensions. So this is in nanometers. What is the dimension over here of k? Clearly it is 2 pi, which is a number, divided by nanometers. So nanometer inverse. All right. So in our previous lecture, we have spoken about like what is the main advantage of this k. It will become clear when we go into solid state proper. So as of now, you just get to understand that the k value which we have been seeing throughout our quantum mechanics, whatever we have done, is nothing other than this reciprocal lattice when we are speaking about solid state. Okay. This k is going to have a different intonation when we are going into say nuclear physics or atomic physics or radioactivity or hydrogen atom or different applications of quantum mechanics. So the interpretation of k varies with the application in mind. Okay. But however, as a VLSI engineer, we are essentially going to consider k as nothing other than reciprocal space. Okay. Excellent. So now we will get back to our original problem. So that is the emergence of the solid state. And what we have done here is that corresponding to this variation, we have, again, we have discussed this in our previous lecture. We will approximate them instead of this complicated inverse parabolic variation of the potential. What we will think about it, it's as if like a series of infinite rectangular infinite potential well situations. Okay. So it will essentially come out to be something like this. This is a very, very crude approximation, but nonetheless, it helps us to understand the solid state in a mathematical fashion. Okay. So, so again, we will go by the same kind of perspective. So when the particle is essentially moving here, okay, then at one point of time, it is essentially going to be under the influence of V naught, which is larger than the energy E of the particle. Okay. Whereas in this region, between 0 to A, E is going to be, what is the Gibbs free energy? E minus 0. Okay. Here V naught is 0. So, so essentially what we get here is this between 0 and minus B. So in this particular region, okay, here between minus b and 0, we get V naught minus E, and essentially you know the expression. Okay, remember it is it is not having an I. Okay, so it's not imaginary. So it's essentially it's an increase and decrease of the amplitude itself. Okay, and when between 0 and A, that means when it is like a free particle, it is going to have an I over here, imaginary square root of infinity minus 1. So what is the understanding over here? It is going to behave like a progressive wave. Very simple. Okay, this is for this particular region. Now we will apply the block theorem. We all know this is the block theorem. This is the block function. This is the block function. The block function ux is periodic. That means this is the condition which we have seen for the block function earlier, isn't it? So this is the derivation which I have shown in the previous lecture. Okay, so that means if the boundary condition, what do we get here is that, notice that if it is x, if here, so psi x, suppose some x, what is the periodicity over here? You will notice that the periodicity is from here all the way to this is the lattice constant. Isn't it? From this boundary, left boundary of this and this left boundary. Okay, this is the lattice constant. So the lattice constant is a plus b. That means if we are having psi x a plus b, okay, in order to ensure that the particle state of motion over here is exactly the same as the particle state of motion over here, that will only ensure that it is a superposition of the wave functions, and essentially the particles are able to move throughout the crystal without any hindrance. Okay, so if that is going to be the situation, then psi x plus a plus b should be equal to psi x. Okay, now I have done the calculation over here. So that means when at x equal to minus b, यहाँ पर हमने क्या लिखा है, x को हमने minus b से replace किया, तो क्या होगा यहाँ पर, psi a will be equal to psi minus b t to the power of I k a plus b. Okay, we are going to use this as one of the boundary conditions. Okay, so what is the boundary condition? One condition will be at here. Okay, rightmost at x equal to 0, right wall of this particular potential barrier. Okay, at the right wall. So at x equal to 0, what is the condition? आपका ये दोनों था ना? These are the two functions, wave functions for the two regions. So I'll just simply put a plus b equal to c plus d. यहाँ से एक equation आ गया. So that is because of continuity of the wave function psi. Okay. Then at the same instance at x equal to 0, that means the right wall, this one. ठीक है, right wall की हम सोच रहे हैं अभी. The right wall, what do we understand? Is if we take a derivative and do it, we will essentially get the continuity of the flux. We all know this technique, and essentially we will get equation number 2. Cool. इतना तक ठीक है. This was sufficient for our previous examples. Now comes the concept of periodicity. Now we are entering into the realm of solid state. So for that we are, so अभी तक हमने क्या देखा था, x equal to 0 में, अभी x equal to minus b and x equal to a पे देखेंगे. ठीक है, they are also going to be the same. So at x equal to minus b and x equal to a, the continuity of the wave function, what does it say? हम ये वाला देखेंगे. ठीक है, we will look into this particular. We will look into this particular condition. ठीक है, so what is psi a? Psi a के बदले में हम लिखेंगे a e to the power of I alpha a plus b e to the power of minus alpha a is equal to psi of minus b. ठीक है, अब यहाँ पर the same thing, I'll just replace x by minus b here. Okay, and this e to the power of I k a plus b factor is anyway there. Okay, so from here what do we get? We get this relation, equation number 3. Then this was the continuity of the wave function at which places? the left side, this one, left wall, this one and this one. तो यहाँ पर अंतर क्या था? The previous one which we saw was valid for the right wall, which I have annotated with the green color. Okay. Now we are doing it with the left walls. Now this left wall is essentially a variation of a plus b lattice constant. So यहाँ पर हमने, so basically the equation number 3 and equation number 4, okay, these two boundary conditions are essentially obtained through the conditions for the left wall. So and in that we are essentially using the condition for the lattice constant. Okay, na? Excellent. So we have got 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is another relation. I'll just okay, no need to put here every time because these are anyway marked 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, once we have got these equations, this is the only thing that you have to keep in mind. In the interviews, they sometimes ask you, especially for if you ever pursue PhD at any point of time in solid state devices or anything of the advanced materials, then essentially you will end up facing questions like this. Question क्या किया जाएगा? कि अच्छा, from the boundary conditions we have got 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you can simply write these equations in the form of the matrix A, B, C, D, and this. And if you notice the right side of each of these equations, so equation 1 here is 0, right side of equation 2 is 0, right side of equation 3 is 0, right side of equation 4 is also 0. मैंने यहाँ पर एक matrix लगा है. Okay, so this is the 0 matrix. Now, engineering mathematics, either Grewal or Kreyszig or Emil Khanna, probably, like there are many textbooks at the engineering mathematics level. So वहाँ पर, what is the condition of non-trivial solution? It's a question which I'm asking you. Please open up your microphones and start answering. How do you
solution other than 0?
So what is the physical meaning of that?
Determinant will be 0, non-zero.
What is the physical meaning? That whatever you are telling is from the matrix theory. So suppose I do not know matrices or linear algebra.
4 different planes will meet at points, pointer lines.
Very good, but that is again interpretation from coordinate geometry. Okay. So what I'm thinking from a much more better result. So think in terms of 4 equations we have got 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, you can see this. This is equation number 1. Why is there a lag even in office? Okay, this is 1, 2, 3. Come on, yeah, 3 and 4. See the lag. Okay, so these are the 4 equations. So once you have got the 4 equations, now in terms of these 4 equations, what are we trying to do? We have written the 4 equations in the form of the matrix as if A, B, C, D are the coefficients. Okay, na? I'm sorry, A, B, C, D are the unknowns. The coefficient matrix is this one. Okay. Now, non-trivial solution matlab, अगर मान लो, what is the condition of this? In fact, this has got to do with rank of a matrix. The rank of a matrix is essentially the number of non-trivial solutions. So that means this is a 4 by 4 matrix, right? Okay. So that means if the rank of the matrix is 4, it means you are going to have a unique solution for all A, B, C, and D. So that means if you are essentially solving all the 4 equations, you can. Then you are supposed to get A, B, C, D as unique values. Suppose the rank of the matrix is 3, or basically I'll just simply put less than 4. 3 हो सकता है, 2 हो सकता है. What does it imply? Is that the determinant of this coefficient is 0. Okay, so what is the meaning of that? That means there is at least one of these 4 variables which is kind of redundant.
Dependent.
Redundant, exactly. So what is the meaning of this? Dekho, I have written one equation, ax plus by is equal to 0. Okay, I can also have an equation like a square x plus ab y is equal to 0. Then you might think that excellent, I'm going to solve these 2 equations and we will get the values of x and y. Okay, no, you cannot. Why? It's very clear. Basically, a is a constant and you essentially, this is a redundant equation. Okay, so that means if you are solving this set of equation, you are essentially ending up with only one equation and you will get a region in space, obviously, because it is a 2D, it's 2 variables are here. So now what I'm suggesting here is that if we want to avoid all redundant solutions, so redundant का technical term है non-trivial. Okay, so that means if we want to ensure that A, B, C, D, all 4 exist simultaneously, then what is the solution? That means A, B, C, D, ये जो है ना, this entire thing is not equal to 0. ये कब हो सकता है? Only when, देखो, you can also look into it as A into X is equal to 0. मान लो, ठीक है? A is a matrix, B is X is a matrix. So what is the property? So that what can happen is that either X can be equal to 0, okay, or A can be equal to 0. What we are suggesting is that for a non-trivial solution, that means A, B, C, D, all of them are 0. अगर मान लो A, B, C, D, all the variables are 0, in that case, that is a very foolish, isn't it a very foolish thing? That means psi is equal to 0, irrespective of X. A and B, they are all zeros. C and D are all 0. So psi is also 0. So that means there is psi x is always 0 irrespective of the position, which is a redundant solution, physically impossible. Electron kahin na kahin to hoga inside the solid state. Correct? That means A equal to 0, B equal to 0, C equal to 0, D equal to 0. That means what is the other situation? Like in layman terms, is impossible. ठीक है ना? इस बात को ध्यान से समझना. Is this A equal to B equal to C equal to D equal to 0? I have written this as a vector. Okay, so this is impossible in physical sense. So that means if x, suppose this vector x is not equal to 0, yani ki this is ABCD vector is not equal to 0, that means the only way that is possible is A is equal to 0. होना ही है, because A into x is equal to 0. ठीक है? So what does it imply? A equal to 0 matlab the rank of this matrix, coefficient matrix, is definitely less than 4. Everybody getting me? So if the rank of the matrix is definitely less than 4, yani ki basically it means that the determinant of the coefficient matrix has to be 0. Otherwise this equation cannot hold, क्योंकि equal to 0 है ना, जैसे मैंने बताया, all the 4 equations here, 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 and here. Okay, all these 4 equations are having the RHS, right hand side, as zeros. So that means if this equation has to be true, the one option is A, B, C, D, this vector is equal to 0, which means that A equal to 0, B equal to 0, C equal to 0, and D equal to 0. That means आपका ये psi function doesn't even exist anywhere inside the solid state. क्योंकि C 0 है, D 0 है. So psi is always 0. This psi is also 0 because A, B, these are all zeros as well. ठीक है? Which is physically impossible. So यहाँ पर मैंने लिख के रखा है. ठीक है? So that means this is not equal to 0. तो ये वेक्टर अगर 0 नहीं है, A into B is equal to 0, तो दोनों में कोई ना कोई तो 0 होना ही है ना? Then that means this determinant of this matrix is equal to 0. That means rank is less than 4, and if rank is less than 4, determinant of the matrix has to be less than is equal to 0. है ना? समझ में आया? हाँ? Then the part is beyond the scope of this course. I have done it for completion's sake. It's for me actually. So, I mean, I wanted to practice my matrix linear algebra skills, so that's why I did it. But no need to bother about it. तो इसको अगर हम 0 बिठाते हैं, तो मैंने क्या किया है, इस coefficient को coefficient matrix का determinant 0 किया है. Then essentially I worked out the entire process. If those of you who are interested in mathematics, you can go through it in your free time. It is better to go through it than watching a Bahubali movie. So I will always encourage you to go through this. You don't have to even do it. I will not ask you in the exams, but this is going to help you to hone up your mathematics skills. Okay. Anyway, so मैंने ये पूरा कर दिया है. So finally, you will end up in a relation like this. Okay. So now just try to understand what is the meaning of this equation. So what is this? Is this a solution? No, it is not. It is simply a simplified version of this equation, determinant equal to 0. Okay. So we started with this equation, right? ये वाला, ठीक है, this determinant equal to 0. इसको हमने सिर्फ solve करके we have essentially brought into this simplified expression. That's it. ये भी solution नहीं है, क्योंकि इसका solution आप analytical method से निकाल नहीं पाओगे. You cannot solve this equation through analytical means. Okay. So what to do? We will resort to numerical methods. Okay. So in the numerical methods, what are we trying to find out here? Let us look into the variables. एक बार variables की तरफ देखते हैं. What is the alpha, beta, and all this? Okay, I'll just copy paste from here. This is your alpha. Okay, this is your alpha. Okay, then there is beta. Many times when you are doing the math, you lose the sight of why are you even doing this. So let's bring about this. I'm just copy. I could have written it, but I'll prefer to copy right in front of your eyes so that you understand that I am not writing it new. I'm just copying it from where we started in this entire class. So alpha beta हो गया और क्या? Alpha A B. What is A and B? ये कोई variable नहीं था. Those were simply the A plus B was the lattice constant. Remember? Okay, 0 to A. A is the 0 to A is the free particle. Minus B to 0 was the bounded particle. Okay, so that is also something related to the solid state material itself. Okay. What else? What is the value of K? चलो, K का भी हम देखते हैं यहाँ पर K कहाँ लिखा हुआ है. Let's see where is the value of K. देखो यहाँ पर एक K है. Okay. Now, what was the interpretation of K which we found out in the beginning of this class? Okay, इस K का हमने यहाँ पर निकाले थे. Okay, so in the beginning of the class we we understood K as this reciprocal lattice. Okay, so we will have that variable now. Okay, so although this equation looks pretty complicated, but however, all the variables inside this function, left hand side and right hand side, they all belong to our known quantities. Okay, अभी ध्यान से समझना इस बात को. Now what I have done here is, notice there is an energy E in this alpha expression, there is an energy E in this beta expression. Okay, तो हमने यहाँ पर क्या लिखा है कि I mean using numerical techniques which we will learn in our lab, तो मैंने यहाँ पर एनर्जी के साथ इलेक्ट्रॉन वोल्ट्स एनर्जी के साथ हमने प्लॉट किए हैं. ठीक है, एंड on the y-axis, what have we plotted? This is kind of the similar approach that we had done for the numerical solution of our finite potential well problem. ठीक है? In the y axis what we have done, लेफ्ट हैंड साइड एंड राइट हैंड साइड को प्लॉट किया है. ठीक है? तो अगर हम लेफ्ट हैंड साइड को प्लॉट करते हैं ना, दिस पार्ट बीटा स्क्वायर माइनस अल्फा स्क्वायर बाय ट्वाइस अल्फा बीटा sin alpha a sin hyperbolic beta b plus cos alpha a cos hyperbolic beta b, this part left hand side only. लेफ्ट हैंड साइड को अगर हम प्लॉट करते हैं, ये ब्लू वाला लाइन आएगा. ओके, दिस वन. ठीक है? प्लीज नोट एनर्जी इज ऑन द एक्स एक्सिस. ओके, अब ये राइट हैंड साइड का जो पोजीशन है ना, सो I have not plotted the right hand side. The only thing which we can tell for sure is that this cos value is valid only between -1 and +1. Yes or no? Sin and cos ka value is always between -1 and +1. So that means we are not attempting to solve this problem. Okay? All we are suggesting is that if we solve this problem, the solution of the problem will always remain between this -1 and this +1. Okay, so these I'll write here valid solutions. समझ में आ रहा है सबको? क्योंकि राइट हैंड साइड वैल्यू, राइट हैंड साइड cos k plus b, cos का कुछ भी हो जाए, k plus b का वैल्यू whatever it might happen, but the cos function will have value between -1 to +1. That part we are completely sure of. That means that the solution of this equation, ये solution किसका equation होगा, किसका solution होगा? That will essentially give us the energy eigenvalues. Remember, alpha and beta are functions of E only. So that means if we are plotting with respect to E as in energy in electron volts, the left hand side, that is the blue line, is going to cross the +1 and -1 at these dots. ठीक है? So what are these dots? देखो, these are intersecting this +1 line at these black points, -1 line at these black points, black dots. Okay, so these are the viable solution boundaries. तो यानी कि आपका energy bands कहाँ से होगा? That means the only possible solution of this equation can happen when the left hand side falls within +1 and -1. ठीक है? So that means for energy values from here until here. Okay? क्योंकि इसके बाद देखो, this blue line is crossing this -1. Again, it enters this -1 zone over here, and here the possible solution can exist, and then finally it again comes out over here. So that means this is again a possible solution. Okay, so that means the particles can have energies between this region. Okay, again the left hand side goes outside +1 boundary and again enters +1 over here and goes out of -1 over here. So that means again the same thing. Within this region of, within this extent of energy E, what do we observe? You are going to have the solutions. That means the particles can have energies within this particular energy levels. Okay, now I will do something very interesting. समझ में आ गया? So this is a solution of the quantum mechanics. ठीक है? Now I will do something very interesting. मैं क्या करूंगा, इसका मैं एक कॉपी करूंगा. Ctrl C. Where is it? Ctrl C. Ctrl V. Okay. Do here. Okay. Now this was our figure. Where is it? Why can't? Okay. Let's do this. Right, awesome. Okay. Now, what we shall do here is that instead of plotting it in this way, what we shall do is, if we put the E energy axis on the Y, ठीक है? मैंने यहाँ पर क्या चेंज किया है? What did we change over here? Exactly nothing. The only thing which we have done here is that instead of putting Y on the x-axis, I have put, energy, electron volts in the x-axis, I put it on the y-axis. How does it help us in understanding it? Okay. Now, what I shall do here is that instead of plotting it like that, okay. So instead of plotting this, how to rotate this? Sorry. I should have checked it out earlier. Okay, so let me view this. Sure, again. Okay, now so this is what we have got. Okay, the only thing is I've changed the axis. Now, in our when we start dealing with the solid state, we have not bothered until now about the Fermi energy level EF. Fermi energy level क्या है वो हमने अभी तक स्टडी नहीं किए हैं, हमने देखे नहीं है. It will turn out that depending on the position of the Fermi energy level, ठीक है, मान लो, let us assume that the Fermi energy level is somewhere here. Okay, so I will call this as EF. Then, what is it by definition the Fermi energy level? That is the energy level below which all the energy states are completely filled. Okay. So if this is the very basic definition of Fermi energy level, which you have already known in your BTech, तब क्या होने वाला है? अच्छा, यहाँ पर हमने जो येलो वाला जो मार्किंग किए हैं ना, एनर्जी बैंड्स दिखा के रखे हैं. So these are simply telling you the energy states. ठीक है? It doesn't tell you whether those energy states are filled with electrons or not. Whereas the Fermi energy level tells us something about that. So if the Fermi energy level is here, it means that all the energy states, so that means this band, and this band, they are all filled with electrons. Okay? And all the energy bands which are higher than Fermi energy level, they are all empty. Empty means the energy states are there, but they are not filled with electrons. So यानी कि this band and all the higher bands, I have only shown until 10 electron volts, they are all completely free. Okay, so for our devices purposes, what we need to bother about is basically this. So here, if this is the EF, we are going to consider that this particular energy level and this particular energy level is our prime concern. This is what we will call as the conduction band, and this will be the valence band. Okay, so that means all the energy states below the EV are completely filled. All the energy states above the conduction band are completely empty. Okay, now when we are speaking about the band gap, okay, now the question is, like, in fact, it was asked when I went for the PhD interview in ISC Bangalore, that how many band gaps are there in a material? Most people will say only one. No, the forbidden gaps are infinite. Okay, so this is also one forbidden gap. This is also another forbidden gap. Forbidden gap means where there are no energy states. We are not speaking about whether the energy states are filled or not. There are no energy states. No energy states kahan hoga? Wherever this left hand side, the blue color doesn't fall between +1 and -1. That means that particular equation is invalid. This equation is invalid between these white regions, isn't it? Because the left hand side is either higher than +1 or lower than -1. So this equation will never have any solution between these white regions. Correct now? So यहाँ पर भी वैसा ही है. इस white region में, these are all the forbidden gaps. These are all forbidden gaps actually. Okay. Now, which energy gap we are concerned about? Only that energy gap where the Fermi energy level exists. So Fermi energy level, so now you can realize the Fermi energy level is such an important concept. Fermi energy level essentially defines which energy gap is of our concern, which band edges will be our concern. यानी कि आप तो ये भी कह सकते हैं ना, ये भी आपका EC हो सकता है, conduction band edge, ये भी Fermi valence band edge. No, valence band के नीचे क्या होना चाहिए? All the bands should be filled up. So unless and until, I mean, if EV is higher than EF, I mean, there is no possibility that these energy states will be filled up, right? Only the bands which are lower than Fermi energy level are filled. So these red ones are filled, green ones are empty, because Fermi energy level happens over here. Okay, so that means in our next few lectures, we will understand the concept of this very important concept called Fermi energy level. Okay, which will essentially define कि out of so many infinite number of band gaps, which one will be our concern. तो यानी कि अगर हमें इसका मतलब अगर सिलिकॉन के लिए बात करते हैं ना, so when we say that the band gap of silicon is 1.12 electron volt at 300 Kelvin, ये हम सिर्फ इसकी ही बात कर रहे हैं, दूसरे वालों का नहीं. Are you getting me? Now comes the very important idea, like what are the factors which determine which of these band gaps or forbidden gaps are essential. That we will understand in our next lecture. Okay, so now what you might ask is, if these are completely filled and these are completely empty, how come we are calling this as the conduction band? Okay, that happens because I mean, the concept of holes will come into the picture. We will understand that later. इसको हम conduction band ही क्यों कहते हैं? But however, please know as of now कि this is the origin of the conduction band. So all we are superposing here is basically this part. ये था आपका original solution. मैंने यहाँ पर Fermi energy level को बिठाए हैं. Okay, so that means if I have taken the Fermi energy level here, अगर Fermi energy level इन दोनों येलो बैंड्स के बीच रहता, then this will be essentially the EC and EV. In fact, that is exactly what happens when we speak about germanium. तो यानी कि in case of germanium, the Fermi energy level happens to be slightly higher or lower. Okay, we will look into that. EF कहाँ रहेगा? Okay, so if in a particular material EF happens to be here, then this is what we will define as the EC, this is what we will define as the EV. Okay, is that part clear? So this is where I'll stop today, and in the next class we will start with certain animations which will basically help us to understand the crystal structure. Okay, that's all for quantum mechanics. I will basically upload this entire, whatever material I have been using, I'll convert it into a PDF and I'll upload as the study material. Okay. Now, from the next class, we'll begin with solid state proper. Okay. So I'll stop the recording here. You can ask me questions if you have.